Beijing, more than a capital. It's a chronicle of dynasties, a guardian of secrets, and a city where ancient wisdom flows through modern streets. From the majestic walls that once defended an empire to tranquil temples whispering forgotten prayers, this is a journey through time itself. At the center of Beijing lies a city within a city, a walled world shrouded in mystery and majesty. The Forbidden City is not just a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It is the soul of Imperial China. For over 500 years, this sprawling complex served as the political and ceremonial nucleus of the Ming and Qing dynasties. As you approach the towering Meridian Gate, you feel the gravity of history. Once reserved solely for the emperor and his court, this massive red gate led to 980 buildings, 8,700 rooms, and 180 acres of meticulously designed symmetry and symbolism. Every corner, color, and corridor in the Forbidden City serves a purpose: to convey order, harmony, and divine rule. Walk across the vast courtyard to the Hall of Supreme Harmony, where emperors were crowned and commanded an empire. The golden rooftops gleam in the sunlight, guarded by mythical beasts that symbolize protection and status. The palace interiors were painted with dragons, clouds, and phoenixes, all reinforcing the emperor's role as the son of heaven. Yet beyond its grandeur, the Forbidden City tells intimate stories of empresses and concubines who lived behind silk curtains, eunuchs who held silent power, and emperors who faced loneliness beneath the weight of a nation. In quiet gardens and echoing corridors, you can almost hear the rustle of robes and distant drums from long-forgotten rituals. This is not just a historical site. It is a layered narrative of power, isolation, beauty, and control. To walk its marble steps is to time travel into a world both breathtaking and deeply human. Sprawling like a colossal serpent over northern China's rugged mountains, the Great Wall is more than a wall. It is a living testament to the resilience and ingenuity of the Chinese people. Originally constructed in fragments as early as the 7th century BC, and unified under Emperor Qin Shi Huang, the wall stretches over 13,000 miles, an unfathomable feat of human labor and vision. Climbing the steep stone steps at Mutianyu or Jinshanling, each breath is a tribute to the soldiers and workers who toiled, often at the cost of their lives, to protect their homeland. You can feel the fatigue in your legs, and imagine theirs carrying stone and timber under relentless skies. The wall snakes through valleys, across deserts, over rivers, adapting to every landscape like a living thing. Watchtowers rise at intervals, offering breathtaking panoramas, and once serving as communication hubs, where smoke and fire sent warnings across vast distances. But the Great Wall is more than defense. It is philosophy in stone, built to keep enemies out. It also defines what lies within. It represents the boundary between chaos and civilization, wilderness and empire. And when the sun sets over the jagged horizon and shadows stretch across its length, the wall doesn't seem ancient. It seems eternal. Standing atop its highest points, wind in your hair and silence all around, the Great Wall offers something few places can: perspective, both literal and spiritual. Here, history is not a relic, it's the ground beneath your feet. In the heart of Beijing's southern district lies a sanctuary unlike any other, the Temple of Heaven. This isn't just a place of worship. It's a cosmic instrument built for balance between man and the divine. Constructed in the 15th century, emperors once came here to pray for good harvests, believing their connection with the heavens determined the fate of millions. The Hall of Prayer for Good Harvests, perfectly round, towering on a square base, reflects the harmony between heaven, round, and earth, square, in Chinese cosmology. Even today, the grounds buzz with early morning energy, Tai Chi practitioners, locals playing traditional instruments, dancers spinning under ancient cypress trees. The temple is both sacred and alive, where spiritual intention and everyday life meet. It's not just a monument, it's a heartbeat in the spiritual rhythm of Beijing. Trade the thunder of the city for the whisper of willow trees. The Summer Palace, once the retreat of emperors, is a tranquil masterpiece of classical Chinese garden design. Centered around the shimmering Kunming Lake, the palace stretches with breezy pavilions, painted corridors, and lotus-filled waters. Climb Longevity Hill for sweeping views. Explore the Marble Boat, a stone symbol of unshakable power. Walk the long corridor adorned with over 14,000 hand-painted scenes from legends and myths. This was where emperors escaped the burdens of rule, and where Empress Dowager Cixi famously held court behind painted screens. More than a getaway, it's a living painting. An oasis where nature, art, and imperial elegance come together. Beneath the tranquil hills of Tianshu Mountain, a procession of emperors lies in eternal rest, their souls guarded by statues, stone gates, and timeless silence. The Ming Tombs are not just burial sites, they are architectural symphonies built to honor legacy, immortality, and the divine nature of imperial power. Constructed between the 15th and 17th centuries, 13 emperors of the Ming dynasty are interred here. Approaching the necropolis, you walk the sacred way, a path lined with stone animals and mythical guardians, frozen in time as if still watching over their emperor even in death. The calm air feels heavier, as if history itself breathes beneath the earth. The most famous tomb, Dingling, has been excavated, revealing a subterranean palace built of stone and mystery. Inside, red lacquered coffins, jade ornaments, and gold-threaded robes speak of a life lived in opulence and a death designed to be as regal as life itself. But these tombs are more than monuments to emperors. They reflect ancient Chinese beliefs about the afterlife, a parallel world where spirits continue their rule and require the same honor, ceremony, and space as in life. Feng Shui principles dictated their placement, nestled between mountain and water, facing balance and peace. To visit the Ming Tombs is to step into a conversation between the living and the dead. It is a walk through shadowed history, where the grandeur of empire meets the inevitability of time. And even in silence, the tombs speak of power, faith, and the desire to be remembered. In the heart of modern Beijing lies an oasis of tranquility that dates back over 1,000 years. Beihai Park, once an exclusive garden for emperors, now a haven for everyday citizens, offers a rare glimpse into the elegance of ancient Chinese garden design and imperial leisure. Centered around the serene Beihai Lake, the park is a harmonious blend of water, trees, temples, and pavilions. At its highest point rises the iconic white dagoba, a Tibetan-style stupa standing proudly on Jade Flower Island. From its base, the entire park unfurls in a panoramic display. Lotus-covered lakes, stone bridges, winding paths, and the distant skyline of Beijing. But Beihai is more than scenery. It's a place where life moves at a gentler rhythm. Elderly couples practice ballroom dancing beneath shaded colonnades. Calligraphers use giant brushes to paint poetry in water on stone. Children feed koi fish. Musicians strum traditional instruments, their melodies floating over the lake like forgotten lullabies. Historically, the park reflects the aesthetics of different dynasties: Liao, Jin, Yuan, Ming, and Qing. Emperors once held banquets here, composed poems, and drifted across the lake in dragon boats. But today, Beihai welcomes all. A place where past and present coexist in quiet beauty. To stroll through Beihai is to witness how nature, history, and humanity intertwine. It doesn't shout its story, it whispers, and if you listen, it becomes one of the most intimate conversations you'll have in Beijing. Beijing is more than China's capital. It is a bridge between dynasties and digital age, tradition and transformation. From imperial palaces to modern art zones, sacred temples to bustling hutongs, every corner of this city tells a story worth hearing. In Beijing, the past isn't buried, it walks beside you.